Let me again welcome Rochelle, an author, award-winning poet and screenwriter. So, hi Rochelle, how are you?
Hi, Mona Lisa, and thank you so much for hosting this and for inviting me.
Pleasure is mine. Tell me how's your day going on and how's the weather there in
Wow,
your
so
place
the
of
weather
life?
is very, very monsoony, but not with heavy downpour. So, Mumbai is beautiful in these kinds of overcast weather, and the day is going on very well. I'm actually working on a novella, and I've been
Oh,
working on its structure, and like in a very creative flow, very lazy, languid way. So the day's been great.
and not planning to go outside enjoying the rain yet?
See, what I enjoy from the window as a writer is the best. Because as a writer, I'm quite addicted to my window.
Let's talk about a little about your. You have, I think, written some scripts that I'm interested to know more about.
Okay.
So one is catharsis and one is salad. So I really would want to know how did that happen.
So it so happened, Mona Lisa. First and foremost, I must congratulate you on your 50th episode or 50th, yeah, anniversary of
Thank
this
you so
conversation. So these scripts actually happened in 2017 or 18 when I took a detour from poetry and from fiction into screenwriting. So I had gone to the Whistling Woods, Goregaon, to attend a 5-day course by Anjum Rajabali sir, and it so happened that I happened to see another course there being advertised, which was a 6-month hands-on course for a screenwriter. And I had a novel idea then, and I was thinking I'm going to write this into a novel, and that was the only idea I currently had. So I took that and I made it a 2-pager, and I presented it, and you had to go through an application process, and I got selected with that. And then I was mentored by Ashwini Malik sir there, and that's how my first screenplay came about. And from there started my screenwriting journey from 2018, wherein I wrote many screenplays because you have this habit as a novelist or a poet that we don't wait for commissions and permissions. We are not used to that because you don't ask someone, can I write this short story? The muse or the inspiration comes to you, you write it. Okay, then you pitch it. Okay, but in screenplays, you can have different ways of how you write because you have money that is involved in the development stage. So it's more like non-fiction where you may pitch only a small amount, like a log line or a concept or a 2-pager, and then somebody may say, okay, I'll give you the money to develop this. So I was not part of that kind of pattern. I didn't know anybody from the industry per se, producers, directors and all. So I would write like a novelist. So I wrote a lot of scripts. I wrote around 20 scripts eventually in these years. Like a novelist would write, or like a poet, you write everything and then you go about to pitch. And then you may get feedback like, oh, the budget is so huge. How did you, we can't do such a huge budget. Do you have something in smaller budgets? So I realized that budget is a very big word in the film industry dictionary, right? But then I also wrote short stories because I was a short story writer. So I wrote a lot of short films. A lot of it is adapted. So what you talk about catharsis and salad, they are both adapted short stories which are adapted to short script. And what happened with catharsis is that I also adapted it as a short play, a 10-minute short play, and I sent it to the short and sweet theatre festival, South India Theatre Festival, which was being managed and hosted by Prakriti Foundation, which also does this poetry festival, Prakriti Poetry Festival. So I sent it to them and they liked it a lot. And there was a director who was very interested, and she said, can I make this in Tamil instead of English? And I said, please go ahead. And she said, can I change the name? Vaishali Jivu is the name of the director. She said, can I change the name of this? Instead of catharsis, can we call it drama queens? Because it was about 2 women shoplifters. I said, please go ahead. So she said, you are a very easy to work with writer. You don't have any reservations. And I was like, no, because I can understand the talented collaborations I'm making. So I'm very greedy for good collaborations. So I'm not going to say, no, don't do this, don't do that. Please do. Please make it better than what it can be. So in Tamil, it was enacted by 2 very fine actresses, and Malvika and Kirtana, and it became a rage. I had gone to see it in Prakriti Foundation in Alliance Phrase of Madras, and the way people, it had become a popular choice also. But the way people were hooting, whistling, and everything, na, it's a very visceral, physical experience of seeing the play. And it was happening in Tamil, so I couldn't understand anything. But I knew my story beats. It's my story. I knew its beats. But I couldn't understand anything. But in those 10 minutes, I could feel the audience enjoying it. Okay. And that feeling is unique because you also feel a little disoriented because this was your story on a paper. Now it is on the stage with characters talking and acting, and here people are reacting. So it also feels the intrusion of a short story writer's privacy is intruded because it was on the page, right? Now it's on a new medium. So I felt good as well as I felt like I had 20 vodkas. I felt very disoriented. Like I was like, okay, now, like they are clapping to my characters and these characters are real. Kavita and Sudha are not paper tigresses, they are real. So there was this disembodied, disoriented feeling, but I enjoyed the experience as a whole. And when it got voted, you had to vote there in the evening, and it was voted as the popular choice. I also got the best writer award. It was also the best production. So Catharsis did something. It was great. It was catharsis for me, in a different way. So Catharsis, this was a story of catharsis. For Salad, it was a short story. It got a shortlist at Fundasa Orient, which is in Goa, and in the short story competition 2015. Then I made it a short script. Now it's a short film. It's directed by Sonu Anand, and it's coming out in September. So that's how some of my short stories have had their own unique ideas of what more they want to be, like in second and third avatars. And I'm surprised because I wouldn't have thought that stories which you write 10 years before could also have a new phase or a new lease of life in a different avatar 10 years later. It still resonates with people. What you thought was a small, simple story is resonating with people in a different way. So it feels very, very fulfilling, I would say.
So do you not crave again that such things again happen more and more, like more of your short stories are enacted and changed into plays?
Yeah, but if wishes were horses, beggars would ride, they say. So I would love every story of mine probably that is cinematic, that could go and become, a film. But just excuse me, I'm just adjusting the bulb here. Yeah. So I would have loved that to happen, but it's not so easy because films take a lot of time. So if it's a feature-length film, it requires huge production budgets. It requires producers to come on the page. Money is the biggest factor. Because if the producer is ready, then the actors are ready, directors are ready, everything is ready. So I've noticed that you have to pitch and narrate a lot. Producers are very, very finicky. They are not always easy to please. They may say something today, then tomorrow they are gone. Or tomorrow the whole market has changed. Now, as I don't know if you know, we are moving towards micro dramas and vertical stories, where there are 1 minute or 3 minute stories being told. So in 60 or 90 episodes, you're telling 3 minute or 1 minute stories. So it's called the vertical micro dramas for the second screen, as they call it. So the trends in the market keep changing. Of course, there are the long films and the theatrical releases. So are the OTT web series. But things change. So it's not easy to nail a producer. So I realize it's sometimes so difficult that writing a book is pretty easy. At least it's in your control as a writer. You don't have to ask 10 heads.
Right.
Yeah.
And which one do you prefer? Book or maybe cinematic?
See, I would as a writer, I like to write scripts because they are very easy. They are very fast. You have to write only 110 pages. Whereas a novel like this one, the D'Costa family, 300 pages. Right? Okay. So I, as a writer, I love script writing because it's very dynamic. Also, there's another thing about the script itself. From the first scene, you need to know what the character is saying. You can't fool around and think कि बाद में we'll come to know dialogue बाद में पता चलेगा तीसरे page पे या fifth page पे. You must know immediately how the character speaks and what they speak. So you cannot talk of the swaying of the coconut trees for 2 pages, or the moon and the sun and all. You have to come to cut the chase, first
Okay.
scene. So I like the discipline that script sets in you as a writer, because you must know what is going on from the first scene. You can't bluff. So you need to be very clear, prepared, and very outlined as a writer. Whereas in novels, you can take the luxury of language, of atmosphere, background, backstory, some digression. You have more leeway. So I prefer the discipline of the script than the novel. But the novel has more you have more control, because it's all in your hands when you finish it. For a film, you need 10 other stakeholders to come to converge.
Okay. So from short stories, Rochelle, we are now seeing you that you are out with your novel. So tell me the journey and how is the D'Costa family getting accepted? Tell me what is the response so far.
Yeah, so it's a very young baby. It's only 2 months old, and it's getting a very warm and hilarious reception, because it's a very whacked out story of a family, and it's actually my family only, and I have only gossiped about it. But they don't know that I've changed their names and all, and I have changed a lot about it. Okay, it's not really that family, but I took the base, the same. Yeah, the same house, the same. We were landlords and landladies, so the same landlord, landladies, the tenants. But then I have changed everything else. Like this is these are not those people, but I use them as a springboard. So I was telling at another interview, I didn't need to, do character work here. It was ready-made characters, just change their name, thoda sa, mirch masala, and yeah. But this is not a story that is a literary intergenerational, multi-generational story. It didn't want to come out like that. It wanted to come out like a whacked out, dark comedy, family caper. And I had to give in to that, because you cannot argue with a story. You can't tell the story, no, I want you to be this. The story will tell you what it wants to be. The story comes with its DNA of structure and style. So I gave in to that, and the reception has been really good. I must tell you this, that I have been chuckling while writing the story. I have even chuckled when I had to do the drafts or the proofreading changes. Even, see, the proofreading changes are done at a time when you have read the story millions of times, right? So you don't feel anything new about it. You've lost your objectivity. Even at that time, I'm suddenly chuckling, because I'm chuckling at my own lines, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so tired of this story, reading it again and again, and I'm still chuckling. So I liked that fact that I could write a story that is hilarious, that has hasya rasa, that made me laugh, it made other people laugh. And in this world that is always burning and has such heavy topics to deal with all the time, we have that small space where we can just laugh a little bit, because I think sometimes we are not laughing enough. We've not given ourselves enough of permission to be happy, because the world is very concerning. No? Lots of things are happening every single day on the news, like in the world, in the city, in the nation. So you are very grim, and you get very sober after a while.
And these days you are getting too much of information.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
that is not required.
Right. And on a scroll, and then you are given information into information, because someone has again reproduced that.
Yes.
So you're getting a double, like as if revision. 5 times the same thing in replication. So sometimes I felt that even when I was putting this book, writing the story, I was wondering, oh my god, am I doing something wrong, because the world is burning, and is this a time to laugh? And I asked myself, when is the time to laugh? Is there a time to laugh by appointment? Is there a time to be happy by appointment? Can't we be happy because we are alive? Do we need to always have the survivor's guilt ki, okay, we are doing good, but see what happened there, see this went to ruins, that went to doom, but you are alive, right? So you enjoy your life before it's your time to also go. So I thought, okay, let me just enjoy that moment, create this very crazy book. It's not always I'll write crazy stories. I write all kinds of stories. I write thrillers, I write courtroom dramas, but I thought, no, let me just write this guilt-free. And that's, it's been a very good reception. In fact, Ekta Bhandari from Read a Kitab said that she's read lots of heavy books, so this book made her laugh out loud a lot. She said, thank you for writing it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's really lovely to know, and you are actually making me greedy to get it quickly.
Yes, if you want to laugh a little more, sure, sure.
Definitely, I'll get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was just going through some of the reviews and I noticed that Jaisal Shah, a filmmaker, he has called this book darkly comedic family story. So I really want to know that how did that already you have told me that you have used your family only, but I really want to know that people say that writing something into comedy is really difficult. So I've seen you writing so many serious stuff,
Yes.
issues with women, about patriarchy, social
Yes.
issues as well as been writing. So
Yes.
how did dark comedy happen and what was the process like?
Yeah. So actually, Jaisal is a female filmmaker, and so I'll tell you. When I was writing my poetry book, Coins and Rivers, I noticed that everything was too serious, and I thought, wait, because I was already a screenwriter. I was learning the rasa theory, the Navarasas. So I know that all the rasas, but there is also a hasya rasa. So I asked myself, where is the hasya rasa in this book? Because everything is such so serious. And then I realized I had some comedies, poems kept away. I just needed to get it here. Harry Mendonça was written long time ago. It was a funny obituary poem. So I was like, wait, let me get all that here, because there needs to be a little fun also. When I wrote bedding, then Bedding Day happened. Okay, I wanted to do a Nizam Ezekiel kind of a mad poem. Then some other hasya poems happened. When I read those poems, everyone is happy. If I read Bedding Day, when I was promoting Coins and Rivers, everybody has laughed and been happy. Okay, because it's actually a poem based on a misogynist, but it's told in a very funny English and mad stuff. So that's the kida actually. That's the germ wherein I thought, why don't I also look and nurture the hasya rasa? Not just the Shringara rasas or the thrillers or the Adbhuta or everything else. Why not the comedic? And I realized I'm a clown actually, like my daughter calls me, she says, you're very funny. You're a joker. She used to call me joker, funny, crazy, you're mad. So I was like, where is that madness? It's not coming out in my writings. I'm only serious because I'm concerned with the world. I'm angry with injustices. But where is it fun, that clown? Why am I keeping the clown private? Why am I not being irreverent in my writings, in characters and stories? So I decided to also unleash that part. And even though this is my family story, of course exaggerated to to levels of madness, so it's not really after a while my family story, but I think everyone, the readers who related, they said, the characters are so great, they are so flawed, we think we know them. They are so different that we think that they are part of a family, not part, but we can relate to them. And that's the best feedback I got over the characters, because they were like, it's so relatable, we believe these characters. So it worked even for them. And it went beyond being the Goan Anglo-Indian family story, because sometimes what happens is a community story then gets stuck there and you feel you can't relate with it. And that's what I wanted to do, tell you a community story but break through that barrier, so that you think it's a character and it's people, not from where they come and their names and their religion, but human beings, connect with human beings.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about characters, as you said, they're flawed, lifelike, real. So who is your favorite character from the book?
My favorite character is Jason, who's a grave digger. Not because I dig anyone's graves, but because he's a hands-on graves digger. So he has all the values of productivity in him, which are very much my values of productivity. So I'm a very project managerial kind of person, okay, Mona Lisa, because I've done my MBA in marketing. Project management was one of my core favorite subjects. So I always value my resources and time and blessings, and I know where I'm using it or not using it. I'm very aware. Jason, when he's digging graves, he wants to be a hands-on, passionate grave digger. Once he tells Inspector Gaitonde ki I can dig 15 graves in a day. He's showing productivity. So he's Rochelle Potkar talking about her poems, but he's talking about graves. And he's also, the bigger part is that he is morbidly attracted to death. And I think I have a morbid fascination with death, not in a way like a suicidal way, but in a way like I find It's a beautiful way in how you close your chapters of your last chapter of the book. And I really love the concept of death because it's a full stop, it's the end, and it's very finite. So you have only this much amount of time. It's a horizon that actually comes close, and then your life will end. So it's nice to view life from death. I have often felt like viewing life from the last sunset. Lots of times I'm not only viewing life from the last sunset, but also viewing life as an 80-year-old lady, hopefully not like Rita D'Costa, but not that easy also, who's about to face dementia, but she's asking, have you lived a good life? Do you have regrets? Have you done everything you could do? And I feel I'm answering to her as well, my older self, before I complete my mission on earth, close my book and go. So I really love that idea that, your zindagi is going to end someday and you'll have to close that big book or call your book of life and go. I really like that. It feels like a traveler. It feels like this journey will end someday. So I think it answers all the existential boredom that I face, or sometimes the ennui that I face. I feel, don't worry, this will also end. So I have a morbid fascination with death, but not in a way of, like as I said, not drastic, not devastating, but very fascinating. Like I almost feel motivated that death will happen one day. So Jason has that in him, and he also loves his graveyard. He got a land from his family. He didn't build illegal constructions like Pedro. He didn't want to do anything on the land to milk it and mine it of money. He wanted to bury the dead. He wants to keep this well manicured lawns of the graveyard, and his graveyard is so spick and span that people think it's almost a theatre or a theater auditorium. So so I think Jason is the closest, secretly, because you asked me, otherwise you'll never know this.
Lovely to know that. Okay, so would you like to read something from your book, since it's sounding so interesting, all the characters, the way you're describing?
Yes. So I'm just digging from one page, because as I was telling you in the beginning, for a biased writer like me, every paragraph seems nice, so difficult to choose. So I just chosen one paragraph which is about Fabian and Apollina. Now, just as a context, Fabian so Apollina belongs to the Burgundy house. She's one of the daughters, and she's got married to Fabian. Now, Fabian is in love with God, and Apollina also doesn't really love him. So this is a very funny love triangle. Okay, so these both are so-called side characters, but they are very important characters. So I'm just reading some small thing actually. But if anything here saved Fabian for God, it was Apollina herself, because she turned out to be a greater rebel than him. For one, she couldn't wake up earlier than 11 to cook breakfast for anyone, including herself. She admitted to him that she always got her tea and breakfast in bed in her mother's house, brought in by the servants, and now expected his mother, active and flighty, to do that for her. She also didn't have any idea about cooking lunches or dinners, Anglo-Indian or Goan, or any other cuisine, and had no interest in ladylike activities like going to the beauty parlors, shopping for ornaments or clothes or vegetables. All she loved to do was his work. She visited the garage to get his stray cycle bike or get his car fixed, washed, oiled and greased. She could go to the bank to withdraw or deposit the month's money or to pay premiums on the next insurance policies. She could read the newspapers on politics and economics and repair odds and ends in the house, from appliances to leaking roofs, to creaking fans, to clogged kitchen sinks, to toilet drains, to old burnt bulbs. She would sit around when guests, especially Mr. Furtado's friends, came by to discuss world affairs and politics, much to the chagrin of both his parents. Soon she gave up on her dresses and wore Fabian's shirts and trousers because she told him she felt cooler in them. What she wore at home was one thing. She began wearing his tuxedos and three-piece suits for masses and weddings too. She had become not a laughingstock like him, but more a head-turner of the wrong kind, a center of amusement, a walking circus, a butt of all joke. She was reforming the town with mirth more than prayer or good deeds ever could, thought Fabian. This too was God's work, not the devil. There is a lot of reflection on various marriages in this book. So there is a reflection of Fabian and Apollina's marriage and his love for God. So it's a love triangle. and she's not the perfect ideal wife either. There's a kind of a reflection on Don Pedro and Annette, who are the main characters, their marriage. Then the marriage of Theodore and Rita in the older generation. Then Jason and Blanca. So there is a lot. And then there's Gaitonde, who's happily unmarried. Inspector Gaitonde. He is actually this fat, pot-bellied guy here. Yeah. And somebody said he's after me. I'm like, no, man, I'm just the writer here. But this is Gaitonde here. And he is happily unmarried. So how he looks at society who's all married and childrened, and how he's not, and how they look at him, and now he's put on a case of a very crazy family drama. So there's a lot of reflection on marriage in the relationships of this story and this novel.
So who did the cover? Cover is also very interesting.
Thank you. May I just show it? I know that like many have seen it, but if they haven't. So yes, so this cover is done by Isha Singh. She lives in Goa, and she said this house is also a character, and each person, she said, they have their eyelids stooping, because she said, I wanted to show that each of them has a secret or a secret of others that they're keeping with them. And here you have these three in a coffin.
Very nice.
Yeah. We wanted to, we were wondering about both of us, Isha and me, when I was speaking to her, we both love Mario Miranda painting or Mario Miranda artwork. And so we jumped up in joy when we were like, you could go whacked out, do the Mario Miranda.
Okay, so she has done the illustration.
Isha Singh did the illustration for this book, which has a bit of a Mario Miranda-ish feel.
I would like to know one thing. I've read your book, Bombay Hangovers, and there's this book called Arithmetic of Death. We talked about in one of our last interviews very long back.
Yes.
So I've seen that you mostly talk about, suppression of women, patriarchy, and other sensual things. So how is this book different? Is it in contrast, or does it talk about the same things but in a different way?
Yes. Thank you so much for this question, because it's such a layered question. But this book also talks about patriarchy. It talks about men who rule the house. Like Theodore will decide the grocery list for Rita. He will not have her make, Anglo-Indian dishes. She has to make Goan dishes because he's a Goan. So there's more. There's a vicious circles and cycles of greed here. So while this is written in a funny way, it's a very serious contemplation on the greed that is there in a family, and who will break that cycle of greed. So it is Maggie, who's a young girl in the house, who is the voice of conscience or the voice of reason, but she's asleep, because as I said that in one of the Insta bites, that if the voice of reason is awake in the beginning of the story can't start. It would have ended, because it's like Satyug. It's wise. So the story, for it to unfurl in its drama, you have to have the voice of reason quiet. So Maggie awakens much later, even as a literary device or trope. But I am examining all the themes that I always examined in poetry: feminism, relationships, sexual suppression or expression, patriarchy, misogyny, infidelity, crime, comedy, everything actually. So the themes are the same, only I've had a lot of fun doing them. Rather than being straight-faced and angry, like in some poems, I have had a lot of laughter and chuckles, but the same themes have been explored.
And this time we are getting something in a very different way.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I would like to talk about your poetry book, because I saw that you have promoted it extensively and it was doing great at that time. I think before this book only Coins and Rivers came.
Yes.
So tell me, what is the exact theme that you are exploring through this book, and tell me the process, that how did you enjoy promoting it? Because I've seen so many of your posts.
Yes.
That you were going to places, signing, reading.
Right. I so much so that you might have got exhausted. No, because I was also exhausted. Okay. No, so thank you for asking about Coins and Rivers, because now that I'm after this book obsessively, I forgot that I had that book also. So yeah, that book was last year, Coins and Rivers, and that book had again many sections, because when I write poetry, I don't write according to one theme. I'm not that kind of poet, who can only write on one theme. So even then I would write from the personal or the private, moving out to the, I call it the concentric circles of expansion. So moving from the private and the personal to the social, relational, familial, then it goes to world affairs, world politics. It even goes beyond that to actually philosophy and spirituality. So I had everything covered in all tones also. As I said, the Hasya Rasa also is exploring misogyny. So I think this was divided into 7 sections, if I'm not wrong, 7 or 8 sections. And this book, I think, like it was in the making for a long time. It was earlier called the Inglorious Coins of the Counting House, and it already had won 2 awards. Been shortlisted for 2 awards, international awards, as a manuscript. But it didn't get published there. Then when it got published, it became Coins and Rivers. And it was interesting to promote it, because to promote poetry is not that easy, because poetry in itself is a tough art form to promote and market. You have a very niche audience. It's very B2B, they say, like it's the poets buying the poets or reading the poets. You have students and university professors. You have a very niche audience. So promoting it was very, it was arduous, it was enriching, it was many things at the same time, because it was a real gym exercise actually. It was sweating it out, because I have gone to a lot of bookstores, from Kunzum to Solanki booksellers in Pune, to Pagdandi in Pune, to even Nepal. So I've gone to a lot of places to promote, and I've spoken and hung around with the booksellers, bookshop sellers, and more than asking them about how poetry sells, I have asked them how do they sell books in general, the reader behavior, like, what is a footfall like, because I'm always interested in all that. And they told me some interesting things, like because I used to go there very early to have chai with them. Okay, so they would say like things like, if you place a book like this on the shelf, then readers have a certain behavior of how they go and pick it up, and what is the next book they may pick up after that book, and how far or close they have to stand. They don't really hover around them, they let them come to them. So I went to different bookshops and understood how different booksellers work. Many of the booksellers have not read a single book in their bookshop, but they know the book in and out. Okay, but they have never read one book, but they can tell you immediately कि ये thriller is thriller के जैसे हैं, this is this is that, that is that, but they have never not read. But they know their audience very well. When the audience asks something, they are very intuitive sellers. So there was a lot of selling gyan, marketing gyan, reader behavior gyan I was getting. It was very interesting, because that appeals to the MBA or the marketing side of me.
Okay.
So I found that very interesting, and it was very hectic in a good way. I enjoyed promoting this book. In fact, I was supposed to go even to South, like from October to December. I was going to do South India. I had done the North India, and I was going, after the rains, I was going to do South India, but I got selected at this Kurindan Indo-Danish residency program, which was a 1-month writing residency. So then after that, when I came back, it was Diwali time, and then I was like, okay, you know what, let's put a full stop here, because I'm tired. The whole year I have been going around. I've been enjoying. It has been hectic and tiring, but I've been enjoying. But it's enough, yaar, because when you travel and you're nomadic, then you can't write. Your creative flow is destroyed. Yeah. So I had to also decide कि अभी बस हुआ, like enough. And I have a very outrageous orange suitcase. I couldn't see it anymore. I was like, I want to put it away now. Bas ho gaya. I don't want to see it. So this year I'm choosing another different approach. It's more inward. It's more quieter. It's more slow living. It's more online promotions. Few offline promotions here and there. Like Bombay, there's this NCPA promotion or NCPA book launch we are doing on 6th of August. It is being hosted by Usawa Literary Review and by NCPA, Dr. Sujata Jadhav. This is a page to stage. So I'm doing few events in Bombay, but generally I have slowed down. I don't want to do what I did with Coins and Rivers, because I felt that was what I did for that book. But I don't see myself doing so much for every book I write. I want to live a slower life, a more creative life in flow, not have that much of dag. And yet the book is doing well. Yet the book is getting a good reception and doing well. So
yeah, because I think when you move and you travel, you also make connections.
Yes.
So somehow that also might be helping.
Yes. Yes.
Point of view,
and there are a lot of people who know me from many years, as a poet. So they know me in any case. Even if I don't meet them, they know me. Yeah. Yeah.
So I just want to know one thing, Rochelle, that if you are of course comfortable to talk about it,
Yeah.
like the tour that you did. So is it something that you yourself planned, or it is like if the publishers do it for you?
No.
How does it work?
No, see, even if it is a small or a big publisher, the publishers do only a certain level what they can do. They're mostly dealing, I notice publishers are dealing with many other poets and writers. So they can give you some support. They give you standees, they give you posters, they can give you some media help. They usually they don't even approach literature festivals, because if they approach, then literature festivals might want monetary support from them. So they don't want to get into all those intersections. So a lot of work is anyway, whether you are with a small publisher or a big publisher, the writer or the poet does most of the heavy lifting of marketing and promotion. And I think because this is our baby, we know it best. So it's very easy to do it, but it is done by us. And because I've been a poet for so long, I'm used to it. In fact, I won't like if someone else says that we'll do this for you. I'll think it's intrusive because I want to do it. So I planned everything. Okay. And I plan whether it's offline, online, lots of it, less of it, everything is my planning. I really like that control. Yeah. But it was done by me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the standees and posters and all came by them.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I would just like to share one thing if
Yes.
it's comfortable to you. I mean, if time is not
Yes,
your
of
issue.
course, tell me.
So, like I'm also a self-published author and I'm also a publisher. So, I just thought maybe I should also go outside of my banner and get myself published. And you know what? I couldn't do that because I
Okay.
felt the creative liberty that I have, the
Yes.
control that I have on sales, the control that I have about the event, how I want to go on it.
Yes.
So I felt that is more comfortable to me. So I'm not really bothered that if I'm self-published. And I think these days it's really not an issue, because earlier it used to be a taboo. People don't talk about it.
Yeah, now I don't know whether that is even spoken about. A good book is a good book, and I have been published by small and big publishers, so I can say that eventually after the third day everything is your business. How you manage your book is your business, and I also like that very much because it gives me not just control but allows me a full field of being inventive. Like, what do I want to do with this? Do I want to do a small Mumbai event? Do I want to not do, and do I want to do an online book launch, or do I not want to do anything? Should I keep the book in secret and just put one small post and keep it mysterious? So I can do whatever I want to do. I like that, actually. It's nice to do that. So I think what you're saying is right, where you say that you have your creative controls, you can do as you please. I think that is what we want, not only as storytellers but story sellers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that also because of us being into the creative world as well.
Yes.
So writing also something ignites that
Yes.
part also.
Yes. Yes. And once you taste blood, I think it's a little difficult then. Like, it's a big dichotomy.
True.
Yeah.
Actually, one more thing I want to ask, and I think I've asked everybody, and it still keeps me curious about every author's take on this.
Okay.
So does social media bother you? Kind of like every, you go to Facebook, you go to Insta, you see somebody's bringing out their book. So do you ever feel that you are in some sort of competition? Does FOMO bother you?
So mostly I go to social. So I'll tell you this. I monitor how much time I spend in social media because it's very time wasting and addictive. So long ago, I planned I'll go only for 5 minutes to social media to post my stuff. How you put it on a softboard? You put something on a softboard and you get out. Because if I don't get out in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I used to put a timer also in the beginning. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you get out, because I would get addicted. I would start scrolling and looking at other people. So that made me not look at other people. So I don't know who was looking at me, but I was not looking at anybody. I was just putting whatever stuff I had to put and run away. Now, but yet at the same time, I feel very. There is a Sanskrit word called mudita. You feel happy for other people. So I feel very happy because I look at it very culturally. If somebody else has released a book, a poetry book, a novel, a film, I feel very happy for them. And I feel very happy for the culture, that the whole culture is being built with creativity and art. Yeah. So I feel happy. But there have been two instances where I felt FOMO, and I'm a very secure person. I don't feel insecure with anybody. No one's success, not even a Booker Prize, not even a Pulitzer Prize, makes me insecure. I feel I'm very happy with what I'm doing, and I'm very accepting of whatever comes to me. The successes and the failures, the setbacks, the nadir and the zenith, everything I'm happy with. I'm okay with it. Like, because I don't look at this as a race, I look at this as a journey. So it's my journey and it's my learnings, my karmic learnings. So I don't look at others, I don't get insecure. But there have been two instances where I have felt, I don't know whether it's FOMO, but I have been rattled. Like, I won't name this person, but she was doing a lot of spoken word events on Instagram. And every now and then I would see that. And because I was promoting Coins and Rivers, it was making me feel that should I also be doing more of these open mics or something. And I was like, no, this is not right, because I admire her, but I don't want to be reminded every time about whether I'm doing less or more. So I had to unfollow, very happily unfollow, not badly, but very happily unfollow. And I think recently there's another person who's launched a book now, currently. She's doing a different marketing strategy, but it's bothering me in the sense that I'm doing a slower life online. Okay. And she's also doing online only, but she's doing different and too much. Okay. So that is becoming pressuring, because I don't want to ask myself whether I should also do it. I don't want that pressure. So I had to unfollow her. Again, I respect and admire her, but it's too much for me. Because I don't want to ask myself, mujhe bhi karna hai kya? Nahi karna hai. If I had to do it, I would do it. Yeah. So I don't want to ask myself that. Don't want that pressure. So this is only two instances. But I'm very happy for these ladies. They are doing very well. But I don't want to be reminded every time. So I don't know whether that is FOMO or that is peer pressure, but I don't want that. I want to listen to my own inner rhythm of kya karna hai. What do you want to do now? What do you not want to do today or this week? So I want to go with that flow, inner flow. But generally, I'm not. I feel happy when people, succeed and do well. I always clap for them in my head. I don't have any competitiveness or like why are they doing this and why am I not? I don't have it, because I'm writing a lot all the time. I've got lots of projects, so I'm too very busy to be worried. Yeah. I
love your approach, because I kind of feel the same way you are explaining here.
Yeah.
So I've also now become slow and I don't feel the rush anymore.
Yes.
And it's so good for our mental health.
Yes.
It works wonderful.
Yes. I think what we need to accept is our pace, self-pace. Yeah.
I mean, I would tell you that I took 10 years to complete my novel, and I brought it out, and I was so ashamed to tell people that 10 साल लगे मुझे इसको लिखने में, and slowly I have accepted that, and I'm okay with it, and I'm so happy. I'm ready to take 10 more years to write.
And that is the triumph. That is a triumph. I think self-acceptance in a social age is triumph. Is success. Yeah.
Exactly. So tell me, the D'Costa family is now going to have a great launch, and I wish to congratulate you.
Thank you.
What are your other plans with it? Do you really think that online promotion would be enough? At this point, you're saying you would go slow, but in the future, do you wish to do some events like physical?
See, I have not pitched it to like Coins and Rivers or the earlier books. I would at least inform the curators of literature festivals ki, hey, this book is out. Whether you call it pitching or you call it just informing them, hey, this book is out, because there's so much of crowd and noise. This time I have done nothing like that. But I had posted it in Goa Writers Forum for people to know that the book is out. So I was invited to Goa Arts and Literature Festival. But I this time didn't pitch to any festival. So I'm really going slow. I hope I'm not becoming lazy, but I just don't want to go. I don't want that. I don't want to see that orange suitcase. I chose the orange suitcase. Yeah, I chose the orange suitcase so that I could see it from far amid all the black suitcases. But I'm like, I don't want to pack. So no, I don't really want to go to any place. I'm going to Kanpur this week only because that was planned a long time ago before the book released. But no, up until now, I don't feel like pitching or going anywhere. So maybe I'm turning into a recluse or a tree, So I don't know. Unless I'm invited, I'm too lazy to pitch and say this book is out.
I think I would just suggest you go with the flow.
In fact, I must tell you this NCPA launch also, it was not my book launch per se. Smita Sahe, the chief editor of Usawa, wanted to celebrate the 7th anniversary of Usawa. And we were planning to read Catharsis as the dramatic reading because that was published in Usawa. And from there, we said, okay, can we read, can we not? Is this dramatic reading? Do we need to do more rehearsals and drama? Chalo, ye nahi, wo nahi, wo nahi. Chalo, let's launch a book. And that was her idea. And it fell in my lap. This book launch has fallen in my lap. I didn't even plan this. You can imagine what's happening to me. I'm so not the person of last year.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think it's a blessing and you should enjoy it.
Yeah. Slow living is nice, actually. The creative flow, because I'm now, getting that full beautiful rhythm of working on other stories without interruption. Yeah.
I think the people here who would listen to this whenever they get the time or on YouTube also, they will take a lot from you because social media is something that people are becoming addictive of, and they say that it brings them writer's block, it brings them, break in their process of working. So I think you have made some amazing points.
Yes.
And I would request everybody to watch this video because your answers were really, really wonderful.
Thank you.
That would really inspire many people.
Thank you. And I must say this, because you asked about social media and you're saying about, people who are affected. There was a time when, so I was very new to Facebook, much earlier, when I used to notice these very funny politics, you could say, where there's one person who will like every post but will not like your post. And you can see that pattern and you start thinking, okay, why did this person not like my post? Matlab, kya dushmani hai? And you're thinking of stupid things which you don't have to think. You have to be writing your stories. Your mind is for your stories, not to think, why did that person not like my post? Third post bhi like nahi kiya, but uska some rubbish post has been liked. So I realized that this is all waste of time, actually. Because people who like you in any case. You don't have to worry about whether they liked your post. And also, it's better to not be in each other's hair all the time, which social media does that to you. You're in each other's hair all the time. Sometimes I think that privacy and that distance is very good for relationships.
Exactly.
That you meet each other after very long and you catch up like the old nukkad style. You have deeper, more soulful, meaningful conversations rather than all the time saying, I went here, I went there, I ate this, I drank this. We don't want so much of information about anybody.
True.
Right? You don't want to know what breakfast I had, and I don't want to know what breakfast you had.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Rochelle, one thing I really want to know that I'm sure your Goan origin must have helped you a lot in this book. But have you also explored some other kind of culture as well? Like you are now into Marathi, I guess?
Yes, I'm married to a Maharashtrian. So I was a Fernandez first, and now I'm a Potkar. So yes, in my if you read Bombay Hangovers, you will see all kinds of characters from all corners of India, and in the cosmopolitan Bombay. And my next stories are also, there will be one Goan character. Here there were many Goan and Anglo-Indian characters, but there will always be one Goan character because I'm so Goan, can't help it. But there are all kinds of characters, like, because India is so diverse. And I enjoy watching, every character. Like, I love Indian characters of all states. So, in fact, Bombay Hangovers has now come in Hindi also. Yes. So, yeah. So, lots of other, non-Goan characters also. Because for me, the region doesn't matter, the religion doesn't matter. It's the character, their journeys as human beings. And then sometimes, of course, it is peppered by a religious lens or a communal lens or a regional lens, but not always. A lot of stories are human stories. Yeah.
So I'm going to have a great time because I would love to know a lot from your lens. I would love to know the Goan culture through your book. So it would be a treat for me.
Wonderful. Some people complained happily that their mouths were watering. I was like, what? Because I haven't written a cookbook, right? So I was like, why is your mouth watering? And they are like, you have mentioned so many dishes and recipes when Rita's in the kitchen that our mouths are watering all the time. And I'm like, you know why that happened? Because I was hungry as a writer. Whenever I'm hungry, my character goes to cook. So if your mouth is watering, there's a certain telepathy, it's called appetite.
So you have spilled one bean here. We know a secret.
Yes. So if your mouth waters, just forgive me.
Okay. I just want to know one personal thing, if you really feel comfortable, that at your home, what is the most preferred cuisine? That is it like Goan or is it like Marathi food?
No, it's not Goan or Marathi food. I like biryani. Okay, chicken biryani. So that's, I think, not Goan or. But otherwise, my comfort food is Goan. So it will be fish curry rice. But I don't eat rice on many days because the carbs will only make us really chubby as writers who sit and write the whole day, sedentary lifestyles. So I don't eat much of carbs, but my comfort food will always be the Goan fish curry rice, sheet kodi, which we say. But I also like varan bhat, which is Maharashtrian. I like that. But my taste is very varied. I like Indian food. I like spicy food. I like Andhra food. I like Chettinad food. I have various Afghani food, Mughlai. I have very crazy tastes, actually. Indian taste. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Chalo, so we are going to have a lot of fun time reading your book, I'm sure.
Wow.
And all factory experience you have also given, as people are saying.
Okay.
So you have already, made people like, "Arey, chalo, fatafat kari do book."
Wow, so nice. So nice. And thank you so much for having such a comfortable conversation. You always had chilled out, bethak type, comfortable conversations. So
have you heard this word called adda?
Adda, yes, of course, Adda. And so I'm also wishing you, Mona Lisa, for everything that you're doing and for your life in general, outside the frame also. As we were talking about, not everything is in the frame and in the page. A lot of life is outside the frame. So I am wishing you the best inside and outside the frame.
Thank you so much, and I would be so happy to meet you. If you ever come to Delhi, just let me know.
Definitely.
I'll just come and meet you.